Thank you for coming to Book Bundles. Digital access to campus library brings life to children's books in early childhood education. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Christian, Assistant Professor of Early Childhood at Purdue University, Fort Wayne.
And I'm Dr. Emily Tock, Librarian to the College of Liberal Arts at Purdue University, Fort Wayne.
Our presentation really highlights our research on a collaborative project between teacher education faculty and library faculty. First, we'd like to bring you into the campus library, which holds our children's literature collection. Our project is applied to a course for early childhood education and general education students. Students in the course are able to access the children's literature collection within the campus library as our project combines educational technology research and hands-on materials. The project enhances students' access to children's literature within the university setting, and it enables children's books to really come to life in the college classroom. Intentionally selected materials, which are children's books, illuminate the background of our project. Each weekly set or book bundle is aligned with a theme. In this case, themes are social emotional skills. The link or digital library guide provides access to ebooks or physical print books from the children's literature collection. Students are able to use these books with the children in their families or in their classrooms. Online course discussions and assignments then serve as a setting for students to apply that learning. You may ask, why is children's literature so important? Well, children's literature is very important in education. First, books have a critical role. Books provide a foundation for learning, development, and literacy for young children. The Book Bundles project then bridges the gap between what students learn in class and their parenting or their work with young children in the classroom. Our project is really about connecting college students with children's books. On a deeper level, one goal is to facilitate the application of course concepts using curated children's books. And another goal is to provide sustainable digital access to resources for students through a library guide linked through the LMS. The questions that guide our study are, first, how do students access the print books and ebooks in online learning? Second, how were students' previous experiences expressed in discussion of the print and ebooks in online learning? And finally, how was new information generated through students' access of the campus library in online learning? The lens through which our study is conducted includes constructivism, as learners construct knowledge through experiences and reflection, and Vygotsky's theory, which emphasizes the importance of social interaction and cultural context.
Here we'd like to provide an overview of our methodology. The participants included both early childhood and general education students from an online asynchronous early childhood education course, EDU 346, Guidance of Young Children. Our data sources comprised library circulation and library guide statistics and student discussion posts. Since we were working with both quantitative data from library circulation and library guide use and qualitative data from the student discussion posts, we knew we needed to use a mixed method approach in our analysis. The quantitative data was easy to incorporate. However, we ran into some hitches with the qualitative data coding because our initial analysis software could not provide the type of analysis we were looking for. So we decided to move to data analysis software that provided better relational analyses, resulting in the kind of data table you see here that was able to provide the trends and themes that were not visible with the initial software. Our findings, we'd like to discuss these through the rubric of access patterns, levels of student engagement, and knowledge application. Not too surprisingly, students preferred ebooks because that meant they did not have to come into the library. A significant portion of the students work part-time or full-time, and their ability to make it into the library can be affected by other responsibilities. Overall, print books were accessed at a rate not terribly distant from the ebooks. Childhood memories enhance the discussions powerfully. Students dug deeply into childhood reading memories, even with books not in the bundles, to bring meaning to their acquisition of the course concepts. Participation in the discussion posts showed significant rise in numbers from week 2. So for instance, in week 1, 15 of the 52 students opted to participate in discussion 3 or more times. In weeks 2 through 8, the number of students opting to participate 3 or more times increased to a weekly average of 20 students, or 38% of total students. Here we'd like to discuss some of the impact on learning outcomes. First, we have enhanced engagement. Book bundles significantly increased student participation and interest. Practical application. Students effectively applied theoretical concepts to real-world scenarios. And collaborative success. The initiative showcased successful collaboration between library and teaching faculty. And some of this is visible in the video link we have here, which we'll play right now.
Although I haven't met you yet, here are 4 things I hope we never forget. 1, past didn't know much. Raising you up shouldn't be tough, but then a class turned me around and flipped my thoughts all upside down. You see, there's a theory by Vygotsky teaching me about autonomy. We're building knowledge strong and tall, and I'm right here, won't let you fall. We're building up with helpful strategies to be the ones we want ourselves to be.
And additionally, students really engaged quite well with each other in their discussion posts. For instance, one student wrote, "I can relate to what you mentioned about pretending to be a professional. I liked making up scenarios and pretending when I was young as well. Do you think you would have created your own Roxaboxen if you were not interested in sports when you were younger?" So in conclusion, we would like to discuss some key insights. The first is enhanced learning. Digital access improved educational practices. Student engagement increased in participation and knowledge application. And we have huge plans for expanding based on the positive feedback that we've received from students so far. Some of these future directions include expanding the scope to include data from subsequent semesters, expanding to other courses, and incorporating student suggestions in the literature collection. Additionally, we would like to explore additional areas based on initial findings. For instance, expanding the program to see if subject-related bundles would result in the same kinds of results in student engagement via materials access. For long-term, we would like to explore how incorporation of these kinds of technologies impact teaching practices. And we would also like to assess the long-term effects on teaching practice in terms of applying this type of out-of-the-box thinking into other areas of teacher education. And here's a list of the fundings and disseminations that we've received for our particular project. And we encourage this kind of collaboration between library faculty and teaching faculty in order to improve student outcomes. Thank you so much for attending Book Bundles. Digital access to campus library brings life to children's books and early childhood education.
Thank you for letting us to share with you today.